This is day 3 in Vietnam, and I'm just going on the running trip. Looking pretty. God dang it. We don't have a tire. And I'm kind of lost too. But in a worst way, I got Google Maps, so it's okay. God. I have no idea how far I've ran, but I'm tired, so I know. I think this is like a market.
Yes, that is correct. This is a market. After I came back to my hotel, my mother and I went back to the place that I just ran past by, which is this place was called Chợ Bến Thành. And this is one of the most iconic landmarks in Ho Chi Minh City. Do you just saw the clock that I ran by when I was earning in the other video? So basically that clock was ticking ever since the French colonization of Vietnam, in which it has been built over 100 years ago, back in 1912. And the name itself, chợ Bến Thành, chợ means market. That's simple to explain. Bến Thành, Bến means dock, and then Thành it means like a citadel, like a fortress. Because originally it was next to the river, that's near an old fortress. And in the modern day, chợ Bến Thành is now offer many type of food and also gifts that you can also buy for your family. After I went to the Bến Thành, my mom and I went out to Towers and Train. Of course, I got to try the infamous Vietnamese coffee in Vietnam. I also got myself some It's kind of hot.
Oh my gosh, I think my hair is extremely messy right now, but it's not like anyone here, so whatever. It is hella empty. Literally.
The reason why I said this place is empty because I'm trying to head out to this is a mall in Saigon, which I would expect to be a lot more crowded, but as you can tell in the video, it was empty. There's
hey
no
guys,
one.
I own this plaza. No one here. Only myself and I.
So I have a much more higher expectation. So I gave up on the place and now I'm heading
to a
out.
coffee shop, but no idea what it's like. So this is where I end up at. Not really sure where.
That there are more people.
Just chilling.
And a while after my dad came and picked me up. And then we go got some food. And of course you can't miss out on the infamous bánh mì Huỳnh Hoa. And as you can tell in the video clip, I think this place was mostly famous for how much they gave you in the pate, like the paste. It was so fulfilling eating that. They just basically a bunch of pate, like just so much of the filling. You know, the paste, like a French paste, but like the Vietnamese version. It was really good, but quite too much to fulfill. It was about 80,000 VND, which is quite expensive for a bánh mì. And I'm will finish that, not really a half of the bánh mì, and I will just continue to eat all of the famous Vietnamese fruit for the rest of the night. And
Check it in my outfit. Well, look a little weird, but it's okay. Let's go. First, I'm going to this road. Walking to this road. A bunch of space crap. A tank? Is that even a tank? I don't even know. It's literally 6 something in the morning, and there's already plenty of people out here. So productive, like me. Oh my gosh, my hand is too shaky. Oh, my hair right now is so wet that I feel annoying. I feel like my whole body is dragging down because of my sweat. So sweaty everywhere. Oh, you know what? Bye-bye. Let's go.
a while after, when I'm nice and clean, my cousin picked me up and we are heading out for our daily dose of boba.
Vận động quá chứ.
I do believe this place was famous because it was owned by a famous actor in Vietnam called Ngô Kiến Huy.
Cho em mượn luôn ly của chị nha chị.
The place is called Bunny.
Next meal or my first meal of the day.
This is bò kho, one of my favorite Vietnamese dishes. If you look at my chopstick like in my bowl when I pick up the rice noodle, you can see like the paste is quite a little thick And it's like the color similar to curry. The taste is like a really minor curry taste. Not curry at all actually, but it's kind of giving. And it's a little savory, a little sweet. And you eat it with all the regular phở rau, phở vegetable. Boy, it was really pleasing to your tongue. I like it. I love this thing. And I was just yapping and eating with my cousin. After having breakfast, my cousin dropped me back at the hotel and my dad took me out to visit the military museum in Ho Chi Minh City. This is where like people, and I'm just looking around, just having a little bit of like historical classes. I didn't really read through everything, but mainly, you know, when you go to these museums, you kind of feel like, oh my god, people have went through all of this in the past. You know, this thing has really became a reality in your history. Even though I didn't really went through every single piece of a museum or like read through everything, but I do feel like going here, even as like a visitor, that for you to visit a museum, just for you to take a look at what the things really like in history, I feel like it's gonna provide you quite a bit of like a not only a sympathetic but also not only the understanding but also a decent sympathetic, you know, sympathize. No, I don't want to use sympathize like it's pitiful, but more like a link for yourself what happened right now to the what has happened in the past. So I would just keep this here for memories. And this is a different room of the museum's display, where this is going to display the grenade, for example, tank, more like guns and other tools that soldiers used to fight. And you know what this is? Okay, this at the time that when I went to this museum is about 2023, which is mean, and I'm in the era of playing PUBG. So this thing is kind of giving me like, oh my god, this is the thing that I've been using. Okay, not really like that, like physically, but I've been using in games, and it's giving me kind of like a little vibing. Not that I've been there, but I think I kind.
This thing literally answered the question I always have, is what happened to the cameraman?
But at the same time, this also allowed me to reflect, because as a person from the peaceful time, I play this game. I use this gun in the game for my fun. While these people right here, they don't really even have the choice. They had to go fight for their own country. And yeah, it's giving me really a ironic kind of feeling.
Tứ hả?
Em thương,
Ờ.
chị đặt hết niềm tin em. Ai thấy chị nuôi dưỡng vậy ra. Đây, dụng cụ để ra tới để chích điện rồi đó. Cộng với đầu tù đấy. Không có nóc.
À.
And this section of the museum is more about showing that what happened, how prisoners were tortured back in the day. That this is, I think that's called Chung Kap, was it? I'm not too sure. But basically people just like not display, but I have prisoners stay in the sun. Like you see how this brick wall is going straight up without the roof. So they're gonna let the prisoner to try it out. And this is an example of torture too. They have to like go on that. You imagine a massage mat, but with real torture and in the sun. This thing is crazy, isn't it? And right now, if you are going upstairs, I'm gonna show you what it looks like from the guard looking down at the prisoners. So this is the upstairs version of the guard looking down to the prisoner. They can just look down.
Cho lột da đầu, lột da.
Dạ. Xuống đây, xuống đây, xuống đây. Yep, vào đây. Đây là mua gì?
Còn đây cái cuối cùng. Đây, cái dao này đó.
Okay, a machine. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say the name of the machine, but as you can look, that's a knife, a giant knife, and there's a hole. So I think you can guess what people do with that. to prisoners. Oh, this is called máy chém in Vietnamese, by the way. Okay, that sounds better in Vietnamese, low key. And this guy Hoàng Lê Kha was the last person that ever been used under this machine. He received a death sentence from Ngô Đình Nhiem's government, which is under the US, and the rest is history. This guy is a pretty much a social activist, and he got captured and having his death sentence using through this machine. And this is a few of the aircraft machine my dad and I is heading out. After the nice walk in the museum, my stomach is rumbling. So then, our lunch, bò uốn cuốn lá lấp. And if you can look clearly, you can tell that the lá lấp, bò cuốn lá lấp of Vietnam is really nice and thick. They rolled some really nice, a lot of lá lấp, the leaf.
Bán bao nhiêu năm mà Thăng Long trước rồi ha? Nhớ là 30 năm trước đã bán rồi.
Because my dad used to live around, so he knows, you know, what it has been out there.
Pha lấu rồi bà. Biết tụi bà với mà còn biết.
Yay, nice and thick lá lấp.
Một đống đoạn kèm.
Because Vietnam is a tropical country, so the food there, they come with a lot of veggie. And if you go to like a restaurant, they practically can give you like enough veggie to fill yourself up without touching the main dish. And here is the moment of truth, bò cuốn lá lấp. It was good. Okay, I didn't say that in the video, but I'm gonna let you know it was pretty nice. It tastes like thick and juicy, and I can taste the lá lấp, which is amazing. But I also realized that I have not gave you guys a second to admire my new beautiful hair, the perm hair. So let me tell you the story about my hair. So basically, when I just got to Vietnam, the first thing I did was heading to a salon to do my hair. And my intention is that I want to get a perm. And which I went there, and then basically at the moment there's this song that is really popular. It's something like Ngày hôm nay em đi trong mưa. So basically it's a pretty tragic song about how, you know, you walk into the rain, etc. So it was a rainy day that day too. So the dude who also do the perm for me, he was, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he was so obsessed with the song. He was like, he keeps singing it every, like when he do my hair. So after he put on the little roll over my hair, and he walked out and he started doing a little smoking, and then he walked back for like 5 minutes later, and he walked back in and he looked at my hair again. He would look at me and just walk away out, and he do his little singing, and he just do that repeatedly for like 5 times. And at the end, my hair failed miserably, and it looked so ugly. I told him to redo it, and he redid it, and this is the result. Not as pretty as I would intended it to be. Because
If anyone ever wondered the reason, I only can drink Red Bull. This is the reason. Back to my mom always bought me this thing.
And I just recently realized that Red Bull was originally from Thailand. It's called Karin Tae Ding, like what I just wrote right there. So then they partner with like an international company, and then they merge together. Not merge, but then they create a different like version with carbonated drink, which is what was being launched out in the international market, which is the one we drink in the US right now. And yeah, as you can tell, the beautiful convenience store in Asia, they have pretty much everything, and it's also very healthy too. Like look at the biotic drink and coconut, unlike the US where we have a bunch of beers and yogurt. And
So
in the US we
weird
have the coffee with diabetes. No offense, of course. And this is what I got. This is the Jungkook banana milk. It was not that great. I love this sausage. This is like a Vietnamese sausage. It's different from the Korean one, okay? And these are the family sữa đậu nành. Oh, it was nice.
Nó chạy
Thế phải chạy thôi.
nó đâu uống nhiều đâu. Uống chai nó chỉ chơi là thôi chứ đâu uống nhiều. Rồi bạn á thì bạn ông già, bạn học chung á thì nó ở đường
Am I getting scammed?
ở trên gần cái người cái đó. Đâu nặng nhân nữ.
And while yes, I aware my face doesn't say anything, but it was one of the best Vietnamese trip out there. If you ever go to Vietnam or go to an Asian supermarket, give it a shot. Trust me. Given this opportunity, I'll also try the infamous banana milk that Jungkook in love with. Which I do have some high expectation right here. And you can see my face, I'm trying to realize what is going on.
It doesn't taste good at all.
Chai
It's got
vậy về
scam.
vậy đó, lấy ra nói chuyện chơi thôi nhau gì.
This is much better. And what I was calling much better, that is basically Vietnamese soy milk. It was hella good. A little too sweet though, so I would recommend like take a lower sugar one. It's called Fammy. Nãy cũng mua đồ á. Các bạn trong hàng thích mà nói $100,000. Ủa lộn không $100 đâu nhưng mà. Còn nói tiếng Anh với con, trời trời.
Thì con nói không?
Con nói cảm ơn chị.
If you didn't know, I am a big fan of chicken leg, and this is a chicken leg. This is meant to be like a quick snack, like you know, like a packaged snack, and it doesn't really sound safe to be honest. But I give it a shot. I do think it tasted good, but every time I eat the chicken leg, I felt dizzy, so I don't think it's very good for you. Well, and pretty much I'm just snacking for the rest of the night. And guys, if you found it interesting, subscribe to my YouTube. I'll see you around.